Greetings and welcome to another Tomorrow's World webcast. My name is Wallace Smith. It's wonderful to be here. And we had recently passed an earth-shattering anniversary. Okay, that might be an exaggeration, but for some people, certain subcultures, it may have felt like that. It was the 50th anniversary of the very first airing of the Star Trek television program. It is a culture out there that has been following this just for years and years and years, since the very first original series of the program, through the movies that were generated, Paramount movies and etc. And then you go to the newer television programs, and well, they have been trying to get money out of that thing for years and years and years. I am a bit of a science fiction fan to a certain extent. You have to be careful with virtually every genre of fictional literature because you're susceptible to whatever the authors are trying to teach you in that. So anyway, I don't waste as much time as I used to perhaps on fiction, but I do admire those kinds of creative individuals that can try to think about possibilities and explore what could be. Star Trek was generally the vision of Gene Roddenberry, its creator, who has died quite a number of years ago, and then his wife, who was also a big part of the program, died as well. But many people all over the world are still faithful to the vision that he tried to express and teach and communicate and perhaps even evangelize in that program and in that franchise and its series, the various series that have come out from that. A lot of the actors themselves sometimes talk about it. George Takei, for instance, recently objected that one of the characters in the new movies based on the same series, Captain Sulu, or not Captain Sulu, sorry, this is the old series, he's not a captain yet. Ignore all of that. But anyway, they made that character a homosexual in the most recent movie. And the actor himself who played Sulu in the original series is a homosexual, and yet he objected to the idea that they made his fictional character homosexual. Why? Because he said that didn't match the original vision of Gene Roddenberry, who had created that character not to be a homosexual. There is a lot of devotion to this man's original vision. But what I want to highlight that some viewers don't always think about when it comes to the Star Trek series, the franchise, its television programs, and the rest, is the stark humanism in that program. You may not know what humanism is. Humanism is a worldview that's not really pro-God. We often say secular humanism, which is really more what I'm addressing right now. Its idea is that somehow mankind is at the center of ethics and worldview, and that we have this ability ourselves to somehow craft the future. It elevates mankind to a level that, frankly, there's no room for mankind on that level. Gene Roddenberry's vision, if you really pay any kind of attention to the series, and I'm not recommending necessarily that you do so, he has this fictional future world he's created where somehow mankind has learned the way to peace. Mankind has figured out for itself how to solve all of its problems, how to end all of its wars. Its better nature, no more discrimination, no more inappropriate bias, no more scientific mystery. Well, they get some mysteries in there, but still, it's a world that somehow mankind himself is just unlocking the nature of the universe and how he's supposed to live within that universe. It really is sort of an imaginative triumph of mankind over everything, oddly told in a series of stories that involves aliens and other creatures. But that said, is that really true? Can Star Trek ever come to pass? And I'm not talking about the technology and phasers and transporters and all of the rest. I'm talking about the worldview. Can the humanistic worldview of Star Trek ever come to pass? I know if we look at our past, it certainly indicates that's probably not going to happen. As part of what a lot of Star Trek folks hope to inspire is that we'll get past our past, if you will. But God Himself reveals that that's just not going to be the case. He tells us in Scripture, for instance in Isaiah, that the way of peace we have not known. It's not a part of our nature to actually create peace. The Scriptures tell us more than once that it's just not really in man to direct his own steps, that spiritual knowledge is spiritually discerned, that we need our Creator. We need a God. We're just not going to find it all out ourselves. The vision of Star Trek can be inspiring sometimes. It can cause people to be excited about what the future may hold. But God in heaven reveals something very different. And the vision of Gene Roddenberry, frankly, is more fantasy than vision. Thanks for watching. Please check out all we have at tomorrowsworld.org.